Hey guys, it's your girl SeekretD, and we're gonna sit and chat, right? So I finished the Who the Fuck Did I Marry series yesterday, and I was kind of underwhelmed. Um, I don't know if some people just never really dealt with certain types of shit in relationships, or they just don't realize the type of people that are in the world. But the more I listened to it, the more I realized that she just kind of let this man do the same shit over and over and over. And she let herself get caught up because she did not care, right? So the main takeaways, right? I feel like somewhere in there, her self-esteem had to be jacked, right? Because I feel like the bare minimum in some parts for her was maybe something that she never experienced. And it was just like, oh my God, this is love. Like, this is amazing. Even though I will say that in the end, she did say she realized she never loved him. She loved the idea of him. She loved the idea of having her happily ever after. She loved the idea of having that perfect life that she sees on social media, even though nothing about her relationship was perfect, right? So while she did a good job of storytelling, some people said that she was talking too slow, which she talked very slow, but it didn't bother me because I was podcasting it. So I was just playing it while I was doing other things. So it was like background noise. So it wasn't really an issue for me. But I can see how people had issues with that. But for me, I feel like the most part, it's not like most women, right? So I feel like most women who get caught up with narcissists and habitual liars and all of these things, they fall in love with these men. I feel like there's actual emotions and love, which sometimes not even love, is like infatuation and stuff like that, but I feel like they think it's love. I don't think she ever had those feelings for this man, right? So I feel like she was more so for him for what he can do for her. It wasn't like, I love this man, so I'm putting up with this bullshit because I think he loves me and I'm waiting for him to treat me correctly and come to his senses, because that's the issue that most women have. They love the potential of someone and they ignore the bullshit that they're doing because they know that in the future they can be better. This wasn't her problem. This wasn't her case. So like I said, I was in a relationship for 6 years. The man was married for all 6 of those years. Even when I found out he was married after I left him, he still lied when I confronted him. And I mean lied. And then when I showed him his marriage certificate, he lied again and told me it was annulled. And when I showed him the paper saying he got a divorce after I left him, then he made up a whole nother story. So what I'm saying is, we deal with these liars, right? We deal with people who fabricate stories. We deal with people who do these types of things. And there's so many people who have dealt with legions of their own in some form, fashion, some worse, because I was reading them comments and my heart goes out to a lot of them ladies in them comments, and some not as bad, but I realized some not at all. And thank God to y'all, okay? Thank God for y'all having these, not meeting these type of people. But I will say, I'm not going to call her dumb. I'm not going to call her stupid. But I will say she did it to herself. And she owned that one as well. Obviously, it's not up to us to make people be good people. You know what I mean? But it's up to us that when we see the red flags and we see the bullshit, we leave. So then you can't blame yourself if you stay. You know what I mean? So that was me. I saw the red flags and I let him talk me out of it. I saw the red flags and I gave the benefit of the doubt because I knew them for XYZ. This man cheated on from a can of paint. So I also don't understand why it was so easy for her to just be like all in, move him in and all that like this. I don't understand that. But that's for her and God to know, right? So overall, great storytelling. I mean, kudos to her. She got a following like nothing. You know, maybe they'll stay, maybe they'll go, whatever the case is. But you know what? It's a lesson. It's a lesson in it for everybody. Keep your eyes open. Follow your gut. And don't try to stay for potential. If you don't like who that person is right now, in this moment, when it's happening in real time, then you do not need to be with that person. And I say that all the time. I used to tell my ex this all the time when he used to say, oh, I know you can be. I know this. I know that. I'm like, no, if you don't like who I am right now, why are you with me? Don't tell me you know I can do X, Y, Z because it's not happening. I am who I am right now in this moment, and I might never change. So if you're not okay with that, then you need to leave. So that's something that I found very alarming in her story, is the fact that he showed her who he was over and 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 over, and she never left. And then when she got pissed off, she wanted to threaten him with violence and all these things. That's because she let it build up and she ignored. Stop. She let it build up and she did all these things. And that was like and it wasn't even like an aha moment. It was like, I'm pissed off now. But it wasn't even his fault. It was really her fault. Because if you can say, oh, I knew he was lying, but I was just going to let him get out of this lie. What? So listen, she had everybody enthralled. She had us all, in a chokehold. I couldn't really stay on it too much. I feel like if I wasn't doing other things, I wouldn't have gotten through it. A lot of people said, I'm not watching it. I don't mind. It's something. And you know me, I like to talk. So I felt like it was a lot of good talking points in there. A lot of good topics in there. And I feel like it was a cautionary tale. And I feel like, long story short, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So everyone who watches, y'all can come here. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel about it. Y'all have any comments, concerns, you disagree with anything that I said, let me know. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying nothing else about this lady and her story. Is what it is. I wish her healing. I wish her happiness. I wish she gets her trip to Paris, and I hope she gets that car, because we all deserve our version of happiness, whatever it looks like, because that's just life. I wish everyone their version of their happily ever after. All right, y'all. Bye.